Hello and welcome to today's lesson, which is on forming linear equations. Now, this topic here is one of the topics that comes up, I would say, one of the most in the GCSE, and everybody always struggles with it. And the reason that everybody always struggles with it is because there's so many different things that you have to know. Not only are you solving equations, but also you have to know things like area, angles, you have to know how to form expressions, and all of these things can be quite overwhelming. So we're going to go through them slowly and have a little look at them. So let's have a look at these first two questions here. Now, I know these seem straightforward, but we will need them to move on to the next stage. So let's have a quick look at them. So this is example 1. It's worth getting these down in your notes. Remember, the only way to learn maths is to do it. So Adam, Barry and Charlie each buy some stamps. Adam buys X stamps and Barry buys 3 times as many stamps as Adam. Write an expression in terms of X for the number of stamps Barry buys. So Adam buys X amount of stamps. Now remember that X is a number. Okay, this is a number. It is a letter, but it represents a number. So Barry buys 3 times as many stamps as Adam. So this means that Barry is buying 3 times that. And to write 3 times something algebraically, we write it like this. And that's that question done. Barry is equal to 3x. That's it. Okay. If you want to have a go at the next one yourself, have a go at it. I think it is pretty easy, but I'm doing it just to get the basics embedded. So same again, Adam has X stamps. This time Charlie buys 5 more stamps. Now this doesn't mean 5 times the amount, it means 5 more. So Adam this time is X and Charlie is 5 more. Well, 5 more means X. 5 more than Adam, so Adam is X plus the 5. Okay, so X plus 5 there. Alright, so there's those 2 answers. So have a little go at these yourself. I'll make these big for you so you can see them. They are quite straightforward. They shouldn't take you very long. Have a quick go at those 2 there. I will go through them as well. Okay, so let's have a little go at these then. So this is example 3. So eggs are sold in a box. A small box of eggs holds 6 eggs. Hina buys X small boxes of eggs. Write down in terms of X the total number of eggs in these small boxes. So a box holds 6 eggs and there's X amount of small boxes of eggs, which means that the first one here is 6x. There's 6 times the amount of small boxes and that's it. Okay, so that's that one done. So my bin 2 buys 8 CDs. Each CD costs X pounds. The total cost is T pounds. Find a formula for T in terms of X. Now this one's a little bit more further forward because it's asking for a formula. So if there's 8 CDs and each CD costs X pounds, find the total cost. Well, that means that, the total cost is going to be 8 times by the amount of CDs, which is X. And the total cost is equal to T. So T is equal to 8X. Okay, I know this seems quite straightforward, but you do need these stepping stones to move on to the next stuff. Okay, so let's go back to that one. So 6x and t is equal to 8x. Brilliant. Okay, so let's step it up a little bit now. This isn't a big jump. This is quite an easy one. It's 2 marks. I think this is again from the top end of foundation, bottom of higher. So here is a rectangle. All the measurements on the diagram are in centimetres. Find the value of x. I'll make this big just so you can see it. Now, a lot of people panic with these type of questions, but actually, this is a lot easier than it looks. Okay, x minus 1, 4, x plus 1, and 6. Now, all of those values are different there. What example is this? Example 5. All of those all of these sides are different, but actually some of them are the same. If this is a rectangle, we know that the top is equal to the bottom. So I can say that x plus 1 is equal to 6 because it's a rectangle. Okay? Now actually, I don't need to use this one here I could just solve using this one. And this is worth 2 marks. So to solve this, I'm going to subtract 1, subtract 1. So x is equal to 5 centimetres. And we're actually done there. However, they've thrown in this curveball to try and confuse you. So you could have done it this way. So you could have said x minus 1 is equal to 4. In which case it's going to be plus 1 and plus 1. So plus 1 plus 1. So x again is equal to 5. So we get the same answer for both of those. We don't need to do both of these, but we could use either method. Okay. These ones are all quite straightforward. Let's take it to the next level now. So these are the ones that people don't tend to like. Okay. So this one here is example 6. So the diagram shows a garden in the shape of a rectangle. I'll make this big so you can see it. So the width of this is equal to 4 plus 3x, and the height of this is equal to x plus 6. All measurements are in metres. The perimeter of the garden is 32 metres. Work out the value of x. Now, if you think you can do that already, pause and have a go at that. I will go through this one. So here we've got a rectangle. And we've got 4 plus 3x, and we've got x plus 6. Now it's telling me that the perimeter, so the distance around this, is equal to 32 metres. Okay? Now again, similar to the last one, because we know it's a rectangle, I know that these two sides are the same. I'll write this one in red so you can see what I'm doing. So this side is equal to this side. So that's equal to x plus 6. And the top is equal to bottom. So this one's equal to 4 plus 3x. Now we know what the perimeter is in terms of the metres. It tells us the perimeter is 32. But we need to write the perimeter in terms of x. So the perimeter of a rectangle is that side plus that side plus that side plus that side. So we've got to add all of these together. So x plus 6 plus 4 plus 3x plus x plus 6 plus 4 plus 3x. So all of those sides added together. Now the ones we can add together are the x's. So x plus 3x plus x plus 3x. X plus 3x is 4x. Plus x is 5x. Plus another x is equal to 8x. My perimeter is equal to 8x. And then we've got 6 plus 4, which is 10, plus 6, which is 16, plus another 4, which is equal to plus 20. So now we have the perimeter in two different parts. We've got the perimeter, which is equal to 32 in metres, and I've got the perimeter in terms of x. So what I'm going to do, to solve to find x, remember solve means find the unknown, I need to form this equation, and then I can solve it. So here I've got 32 is equal to, so this 32, these are both equal to the perimeter. So 32 here is equal to 8x plus 20. And then I've got my equation. So now I can solve this. So the first thing I'm going to do is minus 20 minus 20. So when I do that, 32 minus 20 is equal to 12, is equal to 8x. Okay, divide by 8, divide by 8. So 12 divided by 8. Don't be too scared by that. You can use a calculator. You could use a bus stop for this if you wanted to. How many times does 8 go into 1, 0, carry the 1? How many times does 8 go into 12? It goes in once. Carry the 4, I need 0.0. How many times does 8 go into 40? It goes in 5 times. X is equal to 1.5. So 12 divided by 8 is 1.5. Okay. Now, there's a lot of steps there with that one. Okay, we are going to do some harder ones, but we find the perimeter in terms of x, we make it equal to the perimeter in the metres that we know, and then we go on and solve. Okay, so this is a very common type of question. Now, another common type of question is when you know the angles in this one. So let's have a look at this one here. Now, you might look at this and think, well, that looks very similar to the question I've just been doing. However, the difference with this one here is that instead of knowing the sides, we actually know the angles. So this one here is example 7. I've got a triangle like so, like this. This angle here is equal to 2x. This angle here is equal to 3x. And this angle here is equal to x plus 30. So, the question you've got to ask yourself is, what do I know that links all of these angles? Well, this is a triangle, and we know that the angles in a triangle sum to 180. So my first point here is that 2x, so this angle, plus 3x plus x plus 30 is equal to the angles in a triangle, which are equal to 180. So I've formed my equation, but now I need to simplify it. So let's bring the x's together. 2x, 3x and x. 2x and 3x is equal to 5x, plus another x is equal to 6x. Remember that 30 cannot go with this because it's not an x. Then I go on and solve it. So minus 30, 6x is equal to 150, divided by 6, x is equal to 6 divided 150 divided by 6. We could use the bus stop, we might as well. How many times does 6 go into 1? It doesn't carry the 1. How many times does 6 go into 15? 6, 12, it goes in twice, carry the 3. How many times does 6 go into 30? 5 times, so x is equal to 25, like so. Brilliant. So, we've just looked at an example where we're looking at the sides. We've just looked at an example where we look at the angles. Let's have a look now at another common type of question. Now, a lot of people hate these questions, but it's all about that first little part that we talk through, forming the expressions. And as long as you do that, these do become easy. Okay, so what example is this one now? Example 8. Remember to make sure you're getting these down in your notes. Remember, the only way to learn maths is to do it. So, Ali is, let's make it big so you can see it. Ali is Y years old. Bavaria is twice as old as Ali. Keris is 3 years younger than Ali. The total of their ages is equal to 125 years. Work out the age of each person. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do here is write down an expression for each of their ages. So for Ali, I know that Ali is equal to Y years old. Bavaria is equal to, now she is twice as old as Ali. So it's going to be 2 lots of this, which is 2y. And Keris is equal to, well, Keris is 3 years younger than Ali. So Ali is y, so Keris is y minus 3. Brilliant. So, with this one here, it says that the total of all of these is equal to 125. So I know that y plus 2y plus y minus 3 is equal to 125. Again, you're forming equations. The next thing I need to do is to simplify this. So y plus 2y plus y is equal to 4y minus 3 is equal to 125. Add 3, add 3. So add 3, add 3. 4y is equal to 128. And I'm dividing by 4. Dividing by 4. Let's use the bus stop again. 4 into 1 doesn't go. 4 into 12 goes 4. 4, 8, 12. 3 times 4 into 8 goes twice. So y is equal to 32. Have I finished there? No, I haven't just yet. Okay, because it says work out the age of each person. So this is y, which is the age of Ali. So Ali is equal to 32 years old. Bavara is 2 times that. So 2 times this is equal to 64. And Keris is 3 years younger than Ali. So Keris is equal to 32 take away 3, which is equal to 29. And there's all of those. So Again, it's just about forming those expressions, creating an equation, and then you can go on and solve it. That's worth 4 marks, and that comes up in higher, okay? Make sure you are practicing this, because the amount of mistakes I see on this question, I see them all the time, okay? So, we've got one more question, and then we're going to have a go at some ourselves. So this is the last question we've got here. This is example 9. Now this is basically putting everything together, okay? We're forming to make a really tricky equation, and then we're going to solve it, okay? So this one here, example 9, I've got a triangle here, which is 9 centimetres and 8x plus 4. Notice I haven't put the brackets on that because you don't need them. I can put them on later. Here I've got 7 and 10 minus x. Now it says that the area of the triangle is twice the area of the rectangle. So this size here is twice the area of this one. So straight away, I know to make these areas the same, I'm going to need to times the rectangle by 2. Now, you might think to yourself, why do I need to times the rectangle by 2? Well, if this is double the size of the area of the rectangle, to make them the same, I need to times this by 2. So, the next stage is I need to form the equations. Now, this is why this is tricky, because you've got to know the area of a triangle, the area of a rectangle, you've got to know that you're timesing this one by 2, you've then got to form and then go on to solve, okay? So if I'm forming this one here, so area of the triangle, base times height, don't forget to divide by 2. So here I've got 9 times by 8x plus 4, because it's a triangle, divided by 2. The area of the rectangle is length times width. But remember, because this is 2 times smaller, I need to make this twice as big. So it's going to be 7 times by 10 minus x, so length times width. But then I do need to times this by 2. Now, to do that, I could do like this, and I will do like this actually, okay? So, let's start simplifying some of this. First thing I'm going to do here, I'll probably times that by 2 times by 7. So I've got 14 times by 10 minus x. And then I can start creating equations, because I know that this area here is the same as this area here now, because I've times it by 2. So I've got 9 times by 8x plus 4 divided by 2 is equal to 14 times by 10 minus x. My next stage is I need to solve this. Now, if you've seen the video on it, solving equations with unknowns on both sides, you know the first thing you need to do, if you've got a fraction, is to do that first. We can expand the brackets actually first if we wanted to. It probably is a good idea to do that. So let's expand these. So 9 times by 8 is equal to 72x. 9 times by 4 is plus 36 divided by 2 is equal to 14 times by 10 is 140. 14 times by minus x is minus 14x. The next stage here, I'm going to get rid of this divided by 2 by timesing the other side by 2. So here, to get rid of this 2, I'm timesing this side by 2. So I end up with 72x plus 36 is equal to, this times by 2 is 280. This times by 2 is minus 28x. So to solve equations with unknown on both sides, I need to get rid of the smallest value of x first. Now my smallest value of x is this minus 28. If you are struggling with this now, if you're thinking, I'm getting a little bit lost here, it might be worth having a look at the video on solving equations with unknowns on both sides. I'll put the link below this so you can have a go at it. And maybe it's worth having a go at that part there in case you're getting stuck. So, minus 28x, so I'm going to plus 28x, plus 28x, get rid of the smallest value of x first. So if I plus 28 to this side, that's going to be, Well, 8 plus this is equal to 10. Carry it over. That's going to be equal to 100x. Plus 36 is equal to, they're going to cancel, so that's going to be 280. Minus now the 36. Minus 36 minus 36. 100x is going to be equal to 280 minus the 36, which is equal to 244. Last little stage, divide by 100. So divide by 100, divide by 100. So x is equal to 2.44 divided by 100, which is equal to, 244 divided by 100, which is 2.44 centimetres are on that one, aren't they? So x is equal to 2.44. Absolutely super. Okay, so let's have a go at some of these ourselves. Now, it's worth noting with this, I've just noticed that this is, says it's worth 2 marks, but I think that the part A was worth 2 marks on this, and then the part B and part C was to find this. I think in total this was worth 5 marks, so don't be scared by the fact that that says 2 marks, okay? Because actually, it's worth, so that's the first part, this is actually worth 5 marks in total when we go on to solve it. Okay, so let's get some of these up now. So I'm going to put these up so you can have a go at some of these yourself. There's actually 2 sheets, because these questions are quite big, I've actually got 2 sheets here. So pause now and have a go at that first one. Remember to make sure you are having a go at these, because the only way to learn maths is to do it. Okay, here's your next set of questions. Make sure you're having a go at those as well. Okay, I'm going to pop the answers up for these. So mark these in green. Okay, thank you for watching this video on forming linear equations. Remember, this is one of the questions that always comes up, so make sure you're taking the time with them, because loads of people make mistakes, okay? Make sure you're having a go at these questions, so the only way to learn maths is to do it, and have a lovely day.